Mika Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
And welcome in, everybody, to another rip-roaring edition of Devils After Dark here on the Let's Go Devils podcast network. It is I, Scotty, here with you, as Sam likes to say, from the Michael J. Fox Studios out in Beverly Hills, California. Sam Wu is, well, I don't know, apparently the power is out. He might have had a bad fillet of fish for the Mets games. I don't know. There's some things going on over there in the Wu household. I believe Mrs. Wu is laying down the law on Sam right now for having one too many fillet of fish and chicken nugget specials before the Mets play. Ironically, maybe he should have had them today before the Devils played the Carolina Hurricanes, because they ended up with an L. But anyway, we're going to talk about it. Thank you for joining here, post-game style. Finally back at our regular time when the game ends. Don't forget to join our crew.com for when we do make those schedule changes, when the Mets playoff games are. You will be notified via email. Get the old email blast going on. And we do, oh yeah, the Yankees are on right now. Okay, so we got the Yanks on. So maybe you're a Yankee fan. I know we kind of overpower Beer Baron here. He's the lone Yankees fan, with Shorts Guy, myself, and Sam all being Mets fans. So whatever it is, your baseball team, we got you covered here hockey-wise. But don't forget to join our crew. And hello to everybody on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and X and all that stuff. I hear Sam Wu is paying a premium to broadcast on X. He tells us about it every single time. I'm like, Sam, just don't waste the money. He's like, no, we got to be on the X. I don't know. You tell me. Heard it on the X, ZZ Top style? More like I heard it on the Let's Go Devils podcast. But either way, yep, kind of a tough game for our boys today. The first back-to-back of the season. Devils down there in Carolina on the road for the new look Carolina Hurricanes. No more Pesci, no more Nason. We know they're on the Devils. No more Shea, no more Gunsel. A lot of guys moved around, but like we talked about yesterday, there's one person in particular that is still there, and that's the coach, Rod Brind'Amour. And Rod Brind'Amour, he's almost kind of like, speaking of the Mets, kind of like Bobby Valentine. Remember that Mets outfield in 99? I don't know how the hell Bobby Valentine got so much production out of them that year, but he did. Rod Brind'Amour is a guy that can get the most out of any player on his team, no matter what the skill level is. And that, I think, was pretty evident today. But new look Canes down there. First back-to-back of the year. 4-point game. No changes to the Devils lineup, except for the fact that Jacob Markstrom is in goal instead of Jake Allen. And by the way, quick little stat that we missed on with that shutout by Jake Allen. That was the 5th game of the season. The Devils got their first shutout. Last year, it took them to game 72. Hang on. Checks notes. Yes, game 72 last year is when we got our first shutout of the season. So we can already see the effect of the goaltending and what it is having on this team. And really, the goaltending kept the Devils in the game today. And that was Jacob Markstrom. I mean, the game started out with a big save on Sebastian Aho. He was fed from behind that. I think it was Svechnikov, I think, had the puck behind the net. And almost kind of like, I think it was Dawson Mercer who did this the other day. Or maybe it was Paul Cotter. No! It was it Stefan Nason who fed Cotter in the front? Instead of going around the goal, quick little backhand pass out the near side to the front. Sebastian Aho's right there, but Jacob Markstrom kicks the leg out as Aho tries to put it around him, but no sale, says Jacob Markstrom. The third line had some good shifts today. especially there in the first, creating some chances, along with Seamus Casey from the point. Devils were weathering the storm. Pun totally intended, and yes, I know it's corny, but we were weathering the storm of the old Hurricanes, who came out like a ball of fire. Lots of pressure, but man, Jacob Markstrom in that first period, he was putting up some highlight reel saves. The Devils, I thought the defense did a good job keeping the puck on the on the outer perimeter near the boards and everything like that. But there were a couple of those like slot chances that Jacob Markstrom just gobbled up in the first period. Really good from him between the pipes to keep this team in it. And we move on to the second, and remember who called it. All right, I was a little bit off because I said Dougie Hamilton would assist on it, but I told you either yesterday or today, Jack Hughes was getting his first goal of the season, and in the second period, boom! Jumpin' Jack Flash is back and on the board. 1-0 New Jersey Devils, and Jesper Bratt gets the primary assist, and Kovechkin gets the secondary. And this play really happened down in the Devils zone with Kovechkin getting the puck over to Bratt, and then he springs Jack Hughes to take off down the ice, and he brings the puck into the zone. We know Jack and those zone entries. He is a machine with those. But he brings the puck in. He eventually cuts back to the center and just, bam, slides it through the 5-hole of the goaltender, put the Devils up 1-0. Be on the lookout, because I think it's going to be some rapid-fire action, and Jack Hughes, you're going to see a couple more goals, ba-ting, 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 in the next few games. They're just going to start rattling off. Markstrom then makes 2 big saves to follow up that Jack goal. Devils PK, which actually has been a strong point. Did you see some of those stats that our man Bryce Salvador put up today? Devils PK, they're 14 of 15 on the year. They have a 93% dump out rate. Second in the league. That's pretty damn good. And they are under 1. They are at 0.6 slot shots against on the penalty kill. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good right there. I don't remember what it was. It was like either 9th or 6th. The passes is like just over 1. But the shot attempts from that center slot, the high danger, under 1. They're at 0.6 right now. Devils penalty kill, getting the job done. And then eventually the Canes do get on the board. This one was Seth Jarvis gets the puck after it pops off the stick of Stefan Nason, who's trying to get the puck out of the zone. Obviously, he was unsuccessful. And Seth Jarvis does the old turn and burn, like Captain Bill Spaulding likes to say, and puts it high, near side, past Markstrom. Tough one to kind of put on Jacob Markstrom over there. I thought he played well throughout the game. But maybe I bet you it's one that Markstrom says he wants back. But still, it was a pretty damn good shot there by Seth Jarvis. Kind of a bang-bang play. Looked like the Devils were going to get out of the zone, and puck pops off the stick of Nason. Jarvis turn, shoots, bam, 1-1. That's at 10:55 of the second period. And then, then it started to get a little shaky there near the end. Devils started losing some board battles. We haven't seen that really so far this year. Well, I guess maybe in the Maple Leafs game. But we didn't expect it as much. I think people were down on Carolina and thinking, well, they lost so many guys. There's no way they're going to be as good as they were last year. But again, Rod Brind'Amour, he brought this team ready to play today. And what was it? The Devils lose the board battle, leaves Gostisbehere with an open lane. So you got 3 guys over at the boards. And who was it? It was Natchez. Marty Natchez, I think, was the one who was able to feed Gostisbehere at the point, and he just lets a shot go. It gets past Markstrom. How? Nate Bastian was left alone, and he curls up into kind of a ball there to try and block the shot, and I think he inadvertently screened Markstrom because I think the shot went through Bastian a little bit. fools Jacob Markstrom, puts the Canes up 2-1. And why was that a really tough one? Because it happened with 36 seconds left in the period. Ugh. Don't like those goals in the first minute of the period or the last minute of the period. So Gostisbehere gets his first there at 19:23 of the second. We move into the third, and oh boy, here it's going. Fourth line didn't have their best game today. We've been praising the bottom six because they've been coming through on a lot of stuff, and I thought the third line played okay, but that fourth line had some shaky shifts out there, and this was one of them. They couldn't get the puck out of the zone, and Orlov throws the puck at the net, and Jackson Blake is there for the tip redirection past Jacob Markstrom for his first career goal at 10:16 of the third period. 3-1. Oof. You know, that's the way the Canes were playing. They were hustling. They were winning those battles. Devils didn't seem like they had their full speed. And again, it could be the first back-to-back early in the season. They're playing a lot of games. There's coming off the European trip, there's a number of factors that could be contributing to it. But it's the regular season. It's not preseason. I think Sheldon Keefe will get this figured out, though, and get this team back on track. And don't forget about that. Devils playing 13 games here in the month of October, the most in the NHL. But then the Devils kind of rebounded a little bit. Seamus Casey draws a tripping penalty that sure as hell looked like a hold, but whatever. They're going to call it a trip. And then while they're on that power play, I think it was Martinook, right? Martinook goes and clears the puck all the way down the ice, but man, he just lost control of it and he shot it straight over the glass. That's a delay of game. So the Devils get themselves a 5-on-3, and it doesn't take long for the captain to answer. That's right, a PPG for number 13, Nico Hischier, his third of the year, to get the Devils within one at 15:16 of the third period, and this was still on the 5-on-3, which meant they got a minute 12 of power play time remaining after this, but a lot of good movement from the Devils over here. What it ended up was Jesper Bratt ended up at the point. Dougie Hamilton was on the far wing. Jack Hughes is here on the near wing. Nico is down the bottom on the sharp angle. You got Nason parked in front of the net over there, and Bratt and Hughes do a little back and forth, and then Jesper gives the puck back to Jack, and I thought he was actually going to pass across to Dougie Hamilton, who was ready for the big blast, but no, he goes down low to Nico Hischier, who's right at the side of the net, and Nico, man, we got a bunch of soccer players over here. He's doing his best Pele, like Brendan Dillon and was it Dawson Mercer? No, it was Paul Cotter the other day doing the Pele, David Beckham back and forth. Nico receives the pass with his skate, puts it to his stick, and man, from that sharp angle, real close on the side of the net, he puts it right home up top. Beautiful goal there by the captain. Again, primary assist going to Jumpin' Jack Flash, his fourth of the year. Bratt gets the secondary, his fifth power play goal. So now the Devils, like I said, they got a minute 12 remaining of power play time, but they cannot make anything happen here. Then you got Dawson Mercer, who had a terrible giveaway right at their own blue line. He's at the boards and tries to pass it straight across the blue line, and the Canes just come in and just pick it right off and move right in. But who's there to make one of the standout defensive plays of the day? That'd be Seamus Casey. 2 Canes. But Casey's able to get back and in position, and he doesn't oversell it. And it's a good thing because whoever the hell had the puck, I can't even remember, for the Canes, they did a drop pass through the legs. But you know what? Seamus was in the right position, and he was right there to make the shot block. Didn't even get through to Markstrom. So really heads-up play there by Seamus Casey. And then the Devils got it in the zone on the 6-on-5 after they pull Markstrom. And, oh, man, Jack Hughes had Jesper Bratt lined up for the game-tying goal. Bratt was near the side. Uncovered. Jack feeds him after doing a little bit of the stick work over here, grabbing, making some defense collapse on him. Jesper Bratt's able to kind of move away, get open on the side there, and Jack slides it to him. And albeit it's a hard pass, but you're talking about Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt. This is not the first time they have done this sort of setup before. And Jesper, unfortunately, fans on this shot. And, it was a wide open net. Wide open net. Would have tied that game up. But unfortunately, he does not. Eventually, the Canes get an empty net goal by Sebastian Aho, his first of the year. After the Devils are trying to make a line change, the puck gets a little loose out there. Aho grabs it up. He's got an easy empty netter to seal the deal for the Canes. 4-2 victory down there in Carolina. Like that FanDuel commercial over there with Eric Andre. Carolina. Shots on goal for the Devils. 7-7-11 for a total of 25. The Canes 8-13-11 for a total of 32. The Devils got face-offed again, losing that battle. 30 wins for the Canes, 24 for the Devils. The Devils 1 for 3 on the power play. Canes 0 for 1. Love seeing this part. Devils 25 hits, but don't like seeing the next one. 22 giveaways. That's a lot of giveaways. So that's definitely something that this team really needs to clean up. Especially looking at that last one by Dawson Mercer. If Seamus Casey didn't get back into that positioning there and not get fooled by that drop pass, could have been 5-2 instead. This game actually could have been like 6 or 7-2 if it wasn't for Jacob Markstrom making a hell of a lot of incredible saves. Devils at 24 block shots, 5 takeaways. Looking at the box score, we didn't have anyone really, really super stand out over here. A lot of minuses down the board. Dawson Mercer was a +1. Kovacevic. No, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, he was. Everyone on D. Oh, no, Seamus Casey was a +1. Nemitz was a +1. Not a big number of hits either. We know we had Paul Cotter had 8 last game. He's got 3. Lazar had 3. Timo had 2. Palat had 3. Stefan Nason had 3. Not so much on the defensive side over there. Number of blocks, though, which was good. Dylan had 2. Dougie had 3. Kovacevic's at 2. Nemec 1. Casey, that big one at the end. Siegenthaler had a big shot block, too. I think that was in the first. In the first or the second period. I can't remember off the top of my head. But either way, Devils lose. Devils lose. I know. Start the panic. The world is crumbling. They're never going to make the playoffs. They're going to finish in last place. We're going to be doing the lottery draft again. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Team is going to be just fine. Why? Because I have a lot of confidence in Sheldon Keefe that he's going to get this team and these things cleaned up. The giveaways is what's standing out to me right now. I think the team is playing today wasn't the greatest defensive effort, but for a while they were, the Canes were coming with an onslaught. They were just trying everything they could. And the Devils were keeping them on the perimeters for a good portion of the game. But man, what was it, 22 giveaways? That's a lot. That's a lot. I think we've only had one game where the Devils didn't break 20 in the giveaways column. I could be wrong. Someone can check me on that. But it seems like a lot so far this season. So the Devils fall to 4-2 on the year. Still looking pretty good. Okay. It would have been nice if they could at least got a point, though. Ugh. Brad missing that setup from Hughes. If you didn't see it, I mean, it was a wide open goal. Those are the ones that, Jesper Bratt just buries in the back. But either way, it didn't happen this time. The Canes take it. It's a 4-point game for them. I would love to check in with our good friend, the king of the football calls, Sam Wu, right now. But apparently, like we said, the bunker is losing power. Sam's on the backup reserves. He's gone into his zombie apocalypse disaster, whatever you call those things. I wanted to say disaster fund. No, disaster relief. Whatever the hell those things are called. Down in the bunker. So, want to know what you think about it. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. What were your opinions on this game today? Devils lose 4-2. No, there's Ted. Yeah, there you go. Panic mode. Sky is falling. The Devils have lost one. Brian, Markstrom was strong. Totally agree with that. I thought he had a really good game. And as I mentioned, I think this score could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Jacob Markstrom coming up with some really stellar saves, especially in the first period and most of the second period as well. Okay, Pollock. All right. Brett missing the net was karma for the Utah player missing that. All right. Stephen Engel, we suck. Team's horrible. It's a mess. They're never going to do anything. It's going to be another lottery season. Ariel, someday we'll beat Carolina. We'll get there. Yeah, the Canes always do tend to play us very well. Rod is a boss. I don't know if I'd call it Swiss cheese defense, Stephen Engel. I don't know if I'd call it Swiss cheese defense. I think the Devils, they played some, I mean, Seamus Casey did well today. Dougie Hamilton did well. I think it was more some of those forwards not winning those puck battles along the boards. And we have seen such high-level play from the third and fourth lines. And though I thought the third line, played well today, they weren't impactful on the scoreboard the way they have been. The fourth line seemed a little shaky out there today. So I think, I don't know if it's the defense or maybe, that bottom six didn't play quite as well as maybe we were expecting. Maybe we have our expectations set a little too high for that bottom six. Although I did notice through the third, Sheldon Keefe did a little line juggling. Threw Paul Cotter up with Jack and Jesper. Moved Timo to with Nico and Dawson, and then Tatar down to the third line. So you got a little line shuffling over there. Chris, what do you mean the Devils aren't going to win 80 games this year? What, are you kidding me? Chris, come on. That was my prediction at the beginning of the year. It must be all panic mode from now on. Devils have the Senators, Caps, then Tampa. If they can get 8 points from those games, we will be okay. Well, I think you mean 6 points, but that's okay. But they do have a good chance against the Sens and against the Capitals again. Coming up Thursday and Saturday. Devils got a lot of games in a short amount of time. It's not easy at the beginning of the season. You kind of wish that this is the way it would be in February or March, where they're really, at their, mid-season form, January type of stuff. Yeah, Carolina works you, just like Rod Brindamore would do when he was a player. JP, okay. You got it. When your friends come in town, it's understandable. It's all right. I don't expect you to watch every single game. Well, maybe I do. But that's why we're here. Just in case you didn't. Get a little recap, a little discussion of what is going on. Seamus McFly. Seamus McCasey. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that looked like a hold instead of a trip. But I don't know. I'm surprised the officials didn't call it interference, because basically everything in the NHL is interference now. Maybe I'll trade it in for a new hat. That's Sam Woo's favorite bad impersonation of mine. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Very spooky season of you. Dubs says, Sam, get a Palat jersey quick. What's up, Selecta? Jack Hughes gets his first, and Jackie Boy was looking good tonight. If you're looking for some positives in an L, Jack Hughes gets the goal, and man, was he dancing out there a couple times. He looked really good. And that setup right there at the end, too, it was beautiful. But Brett missed it. That's sometimes how it goes. It'll happen again in a couple games. Those two are too good, and Brat will bury it. Some early season, woes. Brian, Casey is a keeper. That he is. And he's proving it more and more every single day. I mean, he doesn't look like a kid that's playing his sixth NHL game. That play that he made after Mercer coughed the puck up there at the blue line with that terrible pass. I mean, that was some really heady hockey sense. Because he didn't I can't remember who the two forwards were for Carolina. I'll just say, I know it wasn't Aho, but I'll just say it was Aho. They were kind of trying to pull him away towards, more to the wing, because they knew they had another Kane forward coming behind, so they could do a drop pass and hopefully that'd be a wide open lane. But Seamus Casey, he didn't bite on that. He did not bite on that. He stayed in position. He kind of read what they were doing, and then he was there for the shot block right after. If he fell too far off to the side there, that wide open lane, man, that would have been a tough one to put on Markstrom. Especially because you have the whole team going this way, and then Mercer with that bad pass. No beer for you tonight, Dawson. Hey, guys, how about you buy me a beer? Not when you give away one with under 2 minutes to go, Dawson. In the defensive zone. No and crew brew for you tonight, buddy. I'm sorry. You can make it up on Thursday. But what a play by Seamus Casey. Oh, I see Sam Wu is in the chat as well. See, he's on his zombie apocalypse backup power generator. He's boarding up the windows now as we speak. Yes, Pollock, I know. Kerfoot missed that empty net. But that's Kerfoot. That's not Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt, much better player. Remember when we lost the Kerfoot sweepstakes Remember when he didn't sign with us? And we draft him and then he didn't sign his contract and decided to become a free agent? That one hurt. I'll take Jesper Bratt any day. Jacob. Hey, there's Ramona. Ramona's trying to trade the entire fourth line already. Oh, boy. Yeah, the Lazar line, fourth line, I don't think played very well today. Bastion kind of seemed like, a little shaky. Some of those times last year where we're like, he just looks so lost out there on the ice. What is he doing? So I don't know. Does Big Mac get inserted into the lineup for the next game? Maybe. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, that fourth line, definitely didn't have a good one today. Brad to the trading block for missing that shot. This contract was a disaster. Why did they pay him that money? Oh, I love you guys. You're so funny. I love that we can have a good time here, even in the Devils loses. Devils loses? The Devils losses. I can't even talk straight. And no, I haven't had any gummies. I was thinking about it when the third period started. I was like, maybe I should take a gummy for this last period over here. But I did not. Because then I would just be rambling forever. When Sam Wu was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to be on tonight, I'm like, oh boy. Better stay a little level-headed. Ramona, I don't think Timo had a bad game. He threw some big hits today. Drew a penalty with that. He got hit up high. So I don't know. And Brad, I don't think Jesper Bratt had a bad game. It was just, damn, he missed that shot. That's the only thing. Other than that, I don't think that top line had a bad game. I don't really think Nico's line had a bad game either. Well, maybe I should say Nico didn't have a bad game. Dawson Mercer, with that giveaway, Tatar was kind of like, he was a little invisible out there. He had like one opportunity, and it was kind of like a half velocity backhand shot that I think he missed the net on it anyway. So Tatar really didn't have a good game. But Nico, on the other hand, he did have a very strong game. And I did see Nico out there a couple times with Jack and Jesper just to take some face-offs. So the captain seems to be finding his groove. He got his third goal of the season over here. I think Nico's being fine. Jack gets his first. The floodgates will open for him. I agree with Sam Wu that Timo Meier typically starts a little bit slower, but he's got 2 goals on the season already. I'm not asking, like I said, I'm not as concerned with them. They will find their groove and get to it, but I really like what I'm seeing from the captain. The captain had a good game today, very strong. Very strong from Nico. Woo Day Prepper. That's right, Supernova. Supernova with the Woo Day Prepper. Oh, is that what it was, JP? We got Butcher for Kerfoot. That's a lose-lose situation over there, wasn't it? Oh. Sorry, Will. Don't mean that. Sorry, Will. I think he's playing over in Russia now, right? I think Butcher is over there in I think he's playing on the same team with he who shall not be named in the KHL at the moment. In St. Pollock, when we go on to the Western Conference trip, sleepy time Sam. That's right. Sam's he's been stressed, but he's like, Scotty, what are we gonna do when these games they're gonna go out west soon? I don't know what to do. So I told Sam, I'm just gonna go on like a 2-hour rant for you, buddy. Ramona says trade Palat. Well, I think a lot of people probably feel that way, but I don't know who exactly is going to take him on right now. You may find someone, though, a little later on in the season. But we all know the big issue there. $6 million a year. You're going to be eating a bunch of that contract if it does happen. But really, I mean, the fourth line has played well up until this game. So we need to give them some chances here. Let's analyze, like our friend Uncle Lou used to say. Let's analyze after the 10th game. It's beginning of the season. A lot of games, short amount of time, European trip, new coach, new system, lots of new faces. There's contributing factors here, but the team is 4-2. If they were 2-4, then I'd be a little more concerned. But they are 4-2. So I don't know if there's, I don't think we have to, obviously, we don't need to flip the panic switch yet. It's fun to fool around and have a good time. Brian says Palat is very tradable. We'll have to see. What's up, Mark? Mark over there in Switzerland. I mean, we'll see what happens with Palat. He does wear an A on his chest for a reason, though. Personally, I just feel he's overpaid. I feel like that. I feel like we're paying that $6 million for everything he did in Tampa Bay. And I don't know if he's ever going to come close to the production that he had in Tampa Bay here on the Devils. If Palat was making more like around $3 million, then I wouldn't feel so bad about it. But, the $6 million, that's tough. That's tough. But again, they have played well 4 out of the 6 games. The Maple Leaf game, okay, coming home from Europe, had a feeling that was going to be a letdown game. Today, first of a back-to-back, okay. They hung in there, but, didn't look like the same team out there. And Brian, you're absolutely right. Markstrom was the star of the game for the Devils. This game could have easily been out of reach by the middle of the second period. But Markstrom made some key, crucial saves that kept this team in it. For once, it's not the goaltending. It's something we've lived with for so long now. We're so quick to be like, it's probably the goaltending. This time it wasn't the goaltending. It hasn't been the goaltending all year so far. Even the goals that Markstrom gave up, they were tough ones. So the goaltending looking pretty good. Defense was okay today. The forwards, a little shaky there in the bottom 6. And it showed because the Canes came out with a lot of hustle, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and they won those puck battles along the boards. That was the difference in this game. But it's okay. It's only the 6th game of the season. Thank you, Selecta. It definitely was not the goaltending. But we are getting close to that 10-game mark. So after 10 games, then we could all start talking about how we feel about, say, a Mr. Palat. How do we feel about our defensive issues? I'm saying that with quotations here, because our issue is going to be who comes out of the lineup, because we have a lot of good guys. Knock on wood, as long as no one gets hurt. But, man, if I had to pick one now between like Casey and Nemitz, I mean, it's really no contest here. It's Seamus Casey is staying in the lineup. He looks like a veteran out there. And he's playing some big minutes too. Getting some of that PP time. And also, good point brought up on the broadcast. I love the fact that Sheldon Keefe has got everybody killing penalties. Love that. Defensive responsibilities all around. Yeah, Selecta, you're right. We were getting pinned in our own zone a good portion of the time. JP, that might be the issue. I'm probably going to have to eat half of that Palat contract if we do end up trading him at some point this year. But like I said, don't forget, he wears that A for a reason. Now, of course, there's some other guys that have really good leadership skills as well. We saw the A was put on Dylan's chest when Palat, had his second child there. So you have other guys that can fill in that leadership role. But it'll be interesting to see how this team plays out over the next 4 games. So we got, let me just go back to the old NHL app here so I can make sure. We got Thursday, that's at Ottawa. Okay, so they're going up to the Great White North. Saturday, Washington comes to the Rock. And let me just see, that is a 7 p.m. start Eastern time, 4 o'clock for me. And then you got Tuesday, the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's a 6:45 start? Why the hell is that? My app says 3:45 my time. At the Rock. Why are we starting at 6:45 at the Rock? That doesn't, I don't know. That's Tuesday. And then the Devils again. Then they got another back-to-back next week, Thursday and Friday. They got to go out to Detroit, and then they come back Friday to play the Islanders. That's another 4-point game right there. And a 4-point game with Washington as well. That's a lot of games in a short amount of time. But we're going to hit that 10-game mark. We'll do a nice little review of everything. Hopefully, Dougie Hamilton will get on the scoreboard so we can finally have a football call from one Sam Wu. But Jack Hughes has cracked the ice. And I foresee a lot more coming from number 86. We're going to wrap this bad boy up now. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Pesci will make up for some of those lapses on D. All right, yeah, he's coming. AJ says Nemitz and Luke need to rotate as the 7th D. I think when Luke comes back, Luke is going in the lineup. That's just my opinion. Do I agree that it would be good for them to kind of rotate every now and then and take a game off and watch from the press box? Yeah. I've said this many times already so far that the Devils have enough depth where they can almost treat it like a baseball team. You see the Mets, you see the Yankees. They don't have the exact same lineup out there every single day. They're rotating guys. Some guys come in for defense at the end of the game because they have that depth with a baseball team. Now you have that sort of depth here with this hockey club, and especially with the young kids. Yeah, would it hurt them to take a game off and go watch from above? No, I think it'd be a great thing for them. I think it'd also be a great way for them to stay fresh throughout the year. The dreaded back-to-back. That's right. JP says Nemitz has lost the spot to Casey. I don't really disagree with that statement right now. But again, it's only 6 games into the season. Let's give this team a little time. Let's see where they are after 10. That'll be next week. Like we said, rapid-fire games over here. So we'll see how the boys rebound up in Ottawa on Thursday. You know we'll be talking about it here on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. We'll have Game Day Live with Shorts Guy, Vinny Parisi, hopefully Sam Wu if he's out of the zombie apocalypse bunker and the power's gone back on. I would love to have Sam back on for Devils After Dark. Again, as long as he's not getting attacked by any zombies. Oh, he's musicking me. I hear the music playing in my ear already. So I guess he's tired of hearing about the zombie apocalypse. Well, I guess that means we're done. Oh, now he's turning it up even louder, which means shut the hell up, Scotty, and wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for joining us here in Devils After Dark. We'll be back again on Thursday. Don't forget State of the Fan Address Wednesday as well with Nick Milano right here on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. Your incredible source for all New Jersey Devils news. Until next time, as when we speak again, let's go Devils.